Hello and welcome to another video, and today I am going to be reading a blog from a Christian or a religious person. I assume he's Christian because he's got the picture of Jesus Christ on a cross. He goes by the name on his blog of Standing on My Head. And this is his blog, The Fact Atheism is Dying Out. And before anyone says in the comments, oh, you just hate Christians, or oh, you just hate religious people, I am religious. And I wouldn't do these videos if the Christians and the religious people stopped giving me material to work with. And I'd start doing more videos on atheists and their stupidity if they'd give me more material to work with. But they don't. So, let's begin. We often hear from atheists how religion is dying out as mankind comes to see the clear light of reason. Atheist intellectuals, is in quote marks there, speak disparagingly about religion and predict that mankind is on the cusp of a new age in which religion will simply disappear as science, technology and reason are in the ascendant. The facts indicate exactly the opposite. No, they don't. It is religion which continues to grow around the world, while the statistics indicate that agnosticism and atheism are dying out. No, they don't. A new report by Pew Research chronicled here at the Daily Telegraph. His first source is the Daily Telegraph. This guy must be fucking credible. Oh yes, Daily Telegraph tells a very interesting story. Sorry, I coughed during that bullshit. While the numbers of those who are religiously unaffiliated is predicted to rise in Western Europe and the US, in global terms their numbers are shrinking. Actually, if the numbers are growing, they are not shrinking. The percentage of people may be shrinking, but the number is growing. As Christianity and Islam continue to wrestle for spiritual domination in the world, pretending those two religions are the only two religions in the world. Well done. According to the Pew Research Center, the religiously unaffiliated, referring to atheists, agnostics, and other people who do not identify with a religion, are declining as a share of the population. 16% of the population was unaffiliated to religion in 2010, and Pew predicted by 2050 this would fall to 13%. That's a prediction, not fact. Mainly because individuals in the group are older and have less children. That's a reason for them to be atheists and not religious, unlike because many religions teach people to have lots and lots of children. The huge growth rate will be among Christians in Africa. That's because the population in Africa is growing hugely, growing at a huge rate. Furthermore, the rise of Islam is looked on with dismay. Why? By 2050, Christianity will still be predominant, and the people with sense will not be Christian. It is widely known that Islam is increasing globally, but despite this increase by 2050, only 2 more countries, 51 in total, will have a population of Muslims that is more than 50%. According to the projections, it is not until the turn of the century that Muslims will begin to overtake Christians, and then only by 1% worldwide. In Europe, however, the decline of Christianity and the rise of Islam will continue. By 2050, the Pew report predicted that 30%, or 2.8 billion, of the population will identify themselves as Muslim, compared to the 31%, 2.9 billion, identifying themselves as Christian. In Europe, it is suggested by 2050 10% of the continent will be Muslim, and in the US it will become the second largest faith. These projections are based only on demographic trends. We should remember that most predictions like this end up being widely inaccurate. Okay, so he's telling some truth here, because they cannot predict a whole range of other variables. And again, truth. Here are some unpredictable variables which could affect these predictions. I'm going to read you probably 3 out of the 5. A revival of Christianity in the West. In the late 18th century, atheism, rationalism, and Freemasonry seem to have taken over Europe. By the mid to late 19th century, religious revival had swept through Europe and Christianity was surging forward. This revival was a result of fervent preaching, supernatural occurrences like Lourdes, new saints, and evangelization. Yeah, but supernatural occurrences didn't happen. War or natural disaster. War, natural disaster, or plagues can affect the religious demographic, both wiping out whole populations and turning people back to religion, or more likely turning people away from religion in the case of Christianity. Mass conversions. History has shown, Mexico in the 16th century, that there can be an outpouring of the Holy Spirit. What Holy Spirit? Seriously, what Holy Spirit? It doesn't exist. And whole populations will suddenly convert to Christianity. Because whole populations will become stupid. The bottom line is that religion is here to stay, and the predictions are that all religious groups will experience growth through the end of the century. Atheists and agnostics are the only ones, along with Buddhists, who will see their numbers decline. Buddhists are religious group. They are religious group. If all religious groups experience growth, Buddhists will not decline. Make up your fucking mind. Anyway, that's all for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and as always, subscribe.